Hello, everyone. So the topic for this week is about an angry experience that we have went through in the past. So I'd like to begin by saying that I've always been a laid-back and easygoing person. I could always take jokes and banter from my friends, and I always got along with people. I also always made an effort to avoid conflicts and scenarios with other people that could make me angry or upset. So because of this, while I was brainstorming ideas for this topic, I realized that this would probably be one of my harder speeches for me to find a good topic to talk about. At first, all that came to my mind were memories of me getting mad at something insignificant, such as video games or small arguments with friends. So then I thought about remembering events that didn't involve interactions with other people. And that was when I remembered something that happened to me back in my junior year of high school that involved my computer and my homework. So back in high school, I wasn't the greatest student. While I usually did good on tests, I always neglected my homework. Most of the time, I would hand in work late or procrastinate until the very last minute and then do all my homework the night before. So one time during the school year, I was assigned two big papers on the same week, one from history class and one for English. And the assignments also coincidentally had the same due date, which would be 2 weeks from then on a Monday. So I figured that I had plenty of time to get them done. A week goes by and I still hadn't even thought about starting the assignments. During this week, I was focused on other schoolwork since I figured I still had a week to get started on both of the papers. So at the beginning of the next week, I planned on finishing both of them on that weekend. And my goal was to finish one on Saturday and then one on Sunday. But then on Friday night, my mom reminded me that on Saturday, we had to go to my cousin's house to celebrate his birthday. The problem with this was that I could barely have any time to do my essay on that day, and that my cousin also lives in Rochester, which is almost 2 hours away from where we live. I also didn't want to tell my mom that I waited so long to start such an important assignment. So by the time we got back from my cousin's, I barely got anything for my first essay done, which I planned on having finished by the end of that night. So now I needed to complete nearly 2 papers in one night. I worked on both of these papers the majority of that Sunday. However, I made a grave mistake and I never checked my autosave on Microsoft Word and assumed it was on for both of my essays. So I finished the English essay and I was nearly done with my history essay when all of a sudden my computer crashed and shut down. And instantly I started panicking, wondering if it saved or not, because I hadn't been frequently saving it, and I was wondering if autosave was on. So after a few minutes, my computer boots back up, and I go into my files and find that my finished English essay was not there, and that a portion of my history essay that I started on Friday was also missing. Obviously, this made me very upset since about 7 pages of work had been erased, and that work was also due on the next morning. So after that, I pretty much gave up and ended up redoing them and handing them in 2 days later and got just points minus off. While this experience may have been very frustrating, I have to say I did learn a lot from it. Ever since then, I always make sure to start my homework early and progressively do it and to never procrastinate. I also always make sure to I always make sure to manually save whenever I'm on Microsoft Word, and that I do that every few paragraphs now. Anyways, thank you all for listening, and I look forward to hearing about all of your different angry experiences.